Hello, I want to welcome you to this month's module for HIPAA mandatory maintenance. This is a sample training module, and in this module I'm going to show you kind of what happens every month. You see, we have to remember that this program is designed to help you satisfy the requirements to keep your HIPAA program active and dynamic and customized to your office, and thereby provide the best protection against being fined by the government. But we also have to remember the entire purpose of a compliance program is to protect your patients. It's to protect their patient health information so they don't suffer certain eventualities such as having their tax refunds stolen. They can't get them, somebody else does. Identity theft, having fake insurance ID cards made and then people use your insurance policies. These are sold overseas. There's a myriad of things that hackers and thieves do with this information. Now, on top of that, the whole world of cybersecurity has become much more important with the onset of ransomware. Now, that can shut down your data totally. It has completely brought businesses to their knees, and it now gets into an area where entire businesses can be closed, and that has an effect on the economy, including healthcare facilities, obviously. And on top of that, it's become a national security issue because people can jump from one database to another with these different types of attacks. And ISIS has threatened to attack our patient health information as a disruption to our society. They think it'd be a great cyber attack and a great threat through a terrorist threat. So the problem's only getting bigger. But that's what this program is designed to assist you in preventing these problems and preventing from being fined by the government. The idea is to be ever vigilant and focused on cybersecurity because it's an ongoing changing environment. Now, as a reminder, this introductory video that you're seeing here is simply an overview of this month's activity. You need to read the full instructions and print out any needed documents and forms for this month from our website, and then alter those documents or forms as needed to reflect a true and honest accounting of what's happening in your office. All we can do is create generic help and assistance to speed this along for you and remind you and hold you accountable, but there's certain things you may have to customize to your office. They have to be customized. At times you'll have to even take other additional actions that we're not going over here that are needed to satisfy the law as you understand the law, or that you've learned from the initiation of your initial program and those activities and circumstances that have to take place to keep your program current. It's individual, but also in the office, in all likelihood, if you're watching this, your initial program was created either from our bronze program, which is our survival kit, or our silver program, where we kind of create your program for you and deliver it to you, or our gold program, where we do on-site visitation. So if you don't have an initial program in place, then you're not going to be able to do this follow-up and repeat stuff that we're doing here, because this is about following up on repeat audits, reviews, and evaluations that are required over and over on an ongoing basis into the future. These monthly mandatory maintenance modules are required, but again, you can't redo or recheck something that was never done to start with. So if you've registered for and you're participating in this program, but you're not prepared to update procedures because they've never been done correctly or initiated in the beginning, then you need to contact us and let us help you with a bronze, silver, or gold program to get that in place, and then we'll come back to this ongoing program that's a mandatory monthly maintenance service. And what it consists of is, first, every month you need to do a real quick check. Most months this won't take 3 minutes. It's a little monthly audit that we do and look at the things that couldn't wait until some month in the future when we might have a module created. In other words, if you hire a new person, you have to do certain training things immediately. If you buy a new electronic computer, there are certain things you have to do a risk analysis on that immediately. You can't wait several months until it happens to come up as one of the monthly maintenance modules. So this little quick check is something you'll do every month very quickly. You'll sign it, you'll date it, you'll put it in your HIPAA manual and show that you're looking at these things monthly. I'll give you a little more information on that in a minute. The second thing about this service is you're required to distribute periodic security reminders to your workforce. Nobody knows what periodic means, but a lot of learned people seem to think that once a month is about the right distribution. So every month we're going to give you a pre-prepared security reminder you can distribute to your workforce. I would give them 2 copies, one for them to keep, one for them to sign and date and give back to you to put in your HIPAA manual to show and document that you're doing this on an ongoing basis. A little more on that for this month in just a minute. And then each month, you'll have this month's customized review or evaluation or audit that we're doing to help fulfill one of those mandatory reviews, evaluations, and audits that you have to periodically do as required by HIPAA. I also want you to remember you can never be 100% compliant. Auditors and even multiple government agencies don't always agree on interpretations of the law. To further complicate matters, the HIPAA law says that your program can be scalable to fit your practice as long as it meets all of the standards. Well, what that means is that nobody's telling you exactly what you have to do, and that means there's no safe harbor. There's nothing you can say, oh, I did that much, it's enough, because it's scalable to your office and practice. What does that even mean? Thus, everything is open to interpretation. Now, this MMM program was developed out of an outcry from all of you that wanted assistance in satisfying this nebulous HIPAA ongoing requirements, and it only serves as an assistance and not a replacement for your responsibility to understand the law and implement what's needed for your particular practice. But full details on all these matters are located at the website each month as part of our company documentation to you. So, in a month like this, you'll be told, remember to perform your standard quick audit. That's that first little audit I was talking about. You'll be told to download it and print the audit tool. You'll be told to fill it out, alter it if needed, sign and date it, place it in your HIPAA manual, and do this every month. Now, this audit tool will evolve as time goes on, so make sure to print the most current version. So, and the instructions that go with it. So, this audit tool is basically a document that'll have statements which you're going to answer by either indicating yes or no. Feel free to add other statements if you want to audit other things on an ongoing routine monthly basis if you want to, as you see fit and needed to reflect other items you might want to look at. But here's an example of a couple of items that will occur on the audit tool. One, it will say, have you added any new electronic devices in the last month? Yes or no. And then if you answer yes, I have, then it will instruct you on where to go in the HIPAA compliance manual, or in the HIPAA survival kit, I should say, to update your risk analysis based on this new electronic device. Now, if you haven't purchased a new one, then you'll just circle no, which is going to be most months. So it'll then say, have you hired any new employees in the last month? Yes or no. If it's yes, then it's going to tell you and remind you. You have to give them a full HIPAA training within 45 days. It's going to remind you there's an audio training in the survival kit that you can use for this training, etc. But again, most months you're going to go no. It's going to ask, are all of your patches, updates, firewalls, antivirus, malware, etc. current? Yes or no? Well, most of the time it's going to be yes, they're current. But if it's no, then it'll tell you, again, kind of what to do. There's only 7 or 8 little statements like that on this little quick audit, again, that you'll do on a monthly basis. Now, again, every month you're going to get a security reminder, and you'll get instructions. It's required by HIPAA that you issue periodic security reminders to your workforce. The law does not define periodic, but again, the distinguished attendees at the 2017 Washington, D.C. Cybersecurity Symposium that I attended seem to think and feel that once a month might just be the industry standard. So each month you'll be given a security reminder to distribute to each member of your workforce, including the doctor. I again recommend 2, have them sign 1, give it back to you, put it in the HIPAA manual. Now, if you feel that you have a specific problem or dangerous situation in your office, do not wait for us to produce a security reminder that might be similar to the situation you face. Just write up another one if you need it, or add it to the standard security reminder we issue to you to pass out, then add another section if you need it. So if you've got something going on in the office that's problematic, address it. Create additional ones covering those topics, get them passed out to everybody so they have the information that they need. Now, again, instructions, you'll be told to download and print the security reminder. If modifications are needed for your specific office, then modify the document. Distribute it to your workforce, get a signed copy and a dated copy back from each staff member to go in your HIPAA manual. Now this particular month, the notification that you'll be getting, and you can download from the website, or rather I should say the security reminder, is a notification to a patient if a breach occurs. And this is telling your people, your staff, what to do and what has to happen relative to notifying patients of a breach of their information. So I'll quickly read to you what, or tell you what it says. It says that patients are to be informed at a minimum via appropriate verbiage in the Notice of Patient Privacy Policy that they will be notified in the event of a breach of their information, even if theirs is the only information breached. PHI, patient health information, must be protected at all times, as patients have the right to file a complaint with the Office of Civil Rights, and every complaint is investigated by the government. The patient also has the right to file lawsuits against the office and or demand the office assist them in filing a complaint against the office with the federal government. So stay aware. If in doubt relative to what can be said or to whom regarding a patient's information it can be distributed, then the compliance officer should be consulted. That's basically what it's going to say, and then you'll pass that out to everyone, and every month you'll get a different one that talks about a different topic. Then each month you're going to have a mandatory monthly maintenance task. This month, that task, we're going to focus on the required annual in-service training that has to be done for your team. This training is regarding the HIPAA privacy and security rules. So you'll get you'll download the document from the website, and it will, at the top of the document, it'll have a place to fill out the name of your facility and office, the date the training took place, who provided that information. In other words, did someone provide it live on your staff or from your office, or did you use some other information training from an outside source, like maybe you used the CD that's in the survival kit that we have, the audio CD, and you played that to train your people. So you'll fill in the top of the document relative to those blanks, you might say, and then that document's going to have an outline of the topics covered. Now, I will tell you that the provided outline we're sending to you matches the training in the audio CD that's provided in the HIPAA Survival Kit. If you do not use the audio CD to train and you do not teach on these topics, don't make this list your list for the agenda of topics covered. In other words, put the actual topics you covered on the list. There's no absolute law that says what you have to cover or don't have to cover. On the CD, we cover a broad variety of information. We feel that CD can be used year after year for your annual training, as long as you're also providing, along with the training, a copy of your HIPAA policies, because it's required under the law that your staff agree to read, understand, and abide by your HIPAA policies. So if the generic training trains them on stuff that you probably don't want to learn well enough to train, and if you want to train it, it's in the workbook in the HIPAA Survival Kit. Is written out. So if you want to say it instead of play it, go for it. Once that training is done and provided, then if they look at the HIPAA policies and sign off on them, you should be in very good shape. And again, it should last for a long time. Now, if changes are made in the HIPAA activities of your office or your procedures, if they seem important enough that they can't wait until an annual training, then please supply the reminders to them right away, and maybe add it as a part of the security reminder, and don't wait. Also remember, all staff must be trained, including your spouses, part-time people, volunteers, and other non-paid participants as well. So the outline provided, again, I can read it to you, but you're going to download it. It just says that we talked about the motivation for HIPAA security and privacy rules being created, the flow of PHI, patient health information, doing a risk analysis, review of patient rights, notice of patient privacy policy, office security, knowing when viruses are in emails, sanction policies, audit trails, etc., and on through the list. But again, you put what you actually trained. If you don't do that, then there's a place for every attendee to put their name and date and say, and it states, I agree to read, understand, and abide by all HIPAA rules, and the attendee signs it. You have each one of your people sign it at the document, and then you place that document in the HIPAA compliance manual. And that'll complete it for this month. Now, this is a little longer month because you have to actually do the training. It won't take you long to fill out the documents, but you do have to do the training. Other months, most months will be quicker than this, but I wanted to give a pretty good idea of what happens in a month, and again, give you a good sample to get started with. So I hope you're going to find this very, very helpful. We know that a lot of people have also already given us a lot of feedback that this is very helpful. It's not that you can't do this right from your own documents, from your own program that's been created. It's just that it's kind of a pain to have to figure it out every month, and us delivering it to you in this way makes it very, very simple.